But do want to talk about some transfer portal chaos
Oh Lord.
because first of all, who was it last week that was in this comment section that said they were taking Bo from us?
Hmm?
You remember last week when they were like, "Oh, we look like we taking Bo Atkinson from y'all"?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So let me explain to y'all. First things first. When I found this out, Bo Atkinson, I love you. I do. I do. Ohio State is where you transferred my dog? Nah, he knows. He knows how I feel about Ohio State. Ohio State is where you transferred, bro. That's where you want to go? I was sick. Sick to my stomach, bro. But when I look at this list of transfers, like, so players we're losing, right? So check this out. Bo Atkinson, he's confirmed he's going to Ohio State. DeAndre Boykins, who was supposed to be transferring to Coastal, has now switched and is going to Oklahoma State. I low key don't like that part of the transfer portal where it's like, oh, I have one team, and then all of a sudden you switch it up and go to another thing. Like, once you make a decision, I feel like that. I feel like in the portal, whatever team you make a decision to, that's the team you have to play for next season. You get one chance to make a decision. Better make the right one. That's just me. That's just me.
I'll let you change your mind once.
You get 70, you get a week. You get a week.
You get 72 hours.
You get 72 hours.
You get
So
3 days.
and then Terry, I'm a butcher his. I've always butchered his last name, but I'm saying Wabusi Azalea. Yeah, I'm in the. That's how.
Wabuisi
Yeah,
Isaiah.
Wabusi Azalea. He transferred to Vanderbilt. The Law brothers, they transferred to Memphis. Joel Starling's transferred to Maryland. Desmond Jackson actually transferred to UNC Charlotte, so he's actually still in state. Crazy enough. And Lucas Osada, our kicker, or one of our kickers, has transferred out and gone to Illinois.
So speaking of that, real quick. Speaking of just transfers, real quick. So because remember they were talking about Rashada from Georgia possibly coming and visiting North Carolina. We talked about it last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that man decided to go to Sacramento State, which would make his fourth team he's gone to.
Why?
Don't know.
What?
I just looked at it like, first of all, the fact that you have transferred to 4 teams and have only started for one, and I think like 2 games, is ridiculous to me.
That
At
that's
some point, there needs
that's
to be some kind of
wild.
self evaluation on how you are as a player. If you're
Oh,
having
for
to
sure.
transfer to so many teams to feel like you need to be somewhere, because like I said, you were at Georgia, you were stuck behind Puglisi, Gunnar Stockton, and Carson Beck.
Back.
You lost the backup battle to Gunnar Stockton during the offseason. Then you come in here, lose again to the freshman. So now it's like, okay, let me just leave. How about and this is just me being tough coaching. How about you
Tough
reevaluate
Coach
yourself?
Rice.
This is Coach Rice mode. How about you just reevaluate yourself as a player and find out what is it about what I do that's causing me to come up short against my
Nah,
competition.
Coach. You wanna know why? You wanna know why, Coach? Because it's these other people. They hating on my skill set. It's the politics of the other people. That's why.
So you keep running from school to school to escape the politics. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's their fault. I don't know how that sounds, but I'm hoping it sounds funny. No? Okay.
That was just so out of left field. I didn't know what to do.
You didn't like it?
That was so out of left field.
Because it's the thing, I can't hear the feedback of it. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna test it, see how it goes.
So out of left field. You'll hear it later.
Ah,
When this is done, we go back and watch
Hey,
it.
listen, because I was gonna use that as my argument because I was about to play up the part real quick. Be like, yeah, nah, coach, it's their fault. They hating on me. Nah,
Nah,
but
they can hate on
but
they can hate on
even
you for
with
many
that,
reasons.
like as I look at the transfer list, and we have 5 guys who still haven't declared on if they even leaving. They've just entered the portal. Amari Campbell still hasn't made a decision. Rodney Laura, Ryan Word, Curtis Simpson, and Michael Short. A lot of them kind of like freshmen, redshirt freshmen. So I
Mm,
see why they're in the portal if they don't feel like they're going to get PT.
right.
I can see that. But I will say the transfers that are coming in that have committed Jordan Hall, offensive tackle from UAB, Joseph Mapoyi, the edge rusher from Penn State, DeAndre Robinson, D lineman from Florida. I like that. I like that one. Then you got Isaiah Johnson, D lineman from Arizona, Willow Steen, offensive tackle from Jacksonville State, Gannon Burt, long snapper from Florida, Jacob, and I think Burt was the
Horvath,
last one. Horvath and
Jacob Horvath,
Wilson, I think.
and Adrian Wilson from Colorado.
Yeah, I think those were those confirmed from last week. I didn't.
I don't remember talking about Adrian Wilson. I remember Jacob Horvath.
Yeah, I
Let's
think we
see
like.
here. Oh,
But yeah,
but so yeah, then we got Jalen McGill reclassifying so he can play immediately.
I know you were excited about that one,
I was excited about that.
bro.
I
I
was
said that. Okay, so let me ask this question.
Mm.
He was a junior going into his senior year of high school,
Right.
and was going to be class of 2026. And this could be just me being dumb, me being naive, or not digging deep enough into understanding this part of recruiting classes and such. How do you reclass and essentially forego your senior season and immediately jump up to college? Is it kind of like how when
So
you're a kid? Is it kind of like how when you're an 8th grader but you're good enough to play varsity, so you just jump
not
up
ex-
and
not
play?
ex- so how that situation runs is basically what he's deciding to do is graduate high school early. So what
Okay,
he's
that's what I
doing
was
is
thinking. It might
basically
be.
what he's doing is he's either taking like nighttime classes or taking classes at a university somewhere that's going to give him the credits that he needs to go ahead and
Mm,
allow him to graduate early. I had a couple of classmates myself that graduated early.
okay, so basically, right now, he's probably been taking since school ended or is about to end, has been taking
Mhm.
all his senior classes and will probably have those finished up over the course of the summer. That way he
Right.
can enroll and be in 2025 fall and be ready to go this year.
Right, and he's probably already in like honors classes and stuff like that. So that's probably already gave him enough credit. Like probably with the GPA and all that's giving him enough credits to be like, okay, if you do blank, 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 and blank by graduation this summer by May,
Mm.
then you'll be able to. Then you'll graduate early. You'll walk with the 2025 class, and you'll be able to do what you got to do.
Nah, because if he didn't, he basically would have just been sitting in high school just here for football and that's it.
Right. Basically, if he didn't do that, then he wouldn't. Basically, he technically wouldn't be a graduate, and they technically wouldn't let him play. So he wouldn't be able to reclassify if he didn't qualify to be in the 2025 class of graduates. So
Okay,
because
okay.
you can take college credit courses. You can take college courses in high school.
Yeah.
Because heck, my high school used to run I think it was like college English and a couple of other things.
I
But there
had
were night classes that you used to take for Tri County out here. So you could do that. But
yeah.
if you
My
didn't
school,
have those credits, you weren't it wasn't happening.
my school did the same thing because you had like AP English, you had AP English, AP Math, and then AP Chemistry, and there were a couple other AP courses. I ain't gonna front. My mom had me in AP English, or it was AP Lit and AP Math,
Mhm.
AP Calculus. I kept calculus. Didn't know she put me. Listen, did not know or didn't really. Yeah, I actually did not know she put me in AP Lit until I got to school,
Mhm.
bro. There was a test the first day. They were like, it was the summer materials. I was like, I didn't get no summer materials. I immediately dropped that class and switched it for ROTC. So, mama, if you're watching this, yeah, I never got the materials. That's why I dropped that class. I know you got mad at me back then, but listen, I never got the summer material. And part of me was like,
Listen,
bro, it's my senior year. Like,
listen,
I
I won an AP nothing.
listen, no, but here's the thing. I hit a compromise with my mom because she made sense. I needed to. make sure I had like some college credits, make sure I was good heading into it. So she wanted me to try and take like a lot of AP classes my senior year. I'm like, my senior year, I'm trying to chill, bro. I'm trying to relax. Like, I ain't even trying to do much around here. So we made a compromise. I took AP, I kept AP calculus, and I dropped that. I dropped that for ROTC, and because it was my first year doing ROTC in high school, I was in a whole class full of freshmen and whatnot. So I was in like the beginner course, so I just used it for an extra workout period and weightlifting for football, basketball, and baseball that whole year. It was fun though. I don't regret it. I do not regret it, man. But the biggest thing I want to talk about tonight, the biggest. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Unrelated news. Y'all don't understand. I'm a Pacers fan. So is he. Let's. Hey, Boston. Hey, Webb. Rematch. It's time for the rematch. It's time for the rematch.
And I'll talk to you about that later.
Yep. But